Hey folks, Gib Erskine here, and welcome to this week's Tuesday Takeaway. We are going to really talk about something that is metric driven, but it's got humanity in there too. So hang tight in this week's Tuesday Takeaway, metrics that turn claims into credibility. So we all know that in the world of property management, they have so many different service providers, so many different scopes to have performed so that the experience for the tenant that got all the services that they signed up for, having to manage all of those things to orchestrate, to be the maestro on the entire orchestra, to make certain that that program actually delivers the results that is intended by the lease that they are there to really administer and abide by. It's a big deal. So when they are there to make decisions, they are there to actually put their arm around you and say, hey, we are going to be partners and here's what that looks like. You need to be prepared to create that conversion as to what your platform actually creates for them, that is provided by the metrics that you track and gives them the comfort that all of the different things within your area, within your industry, within your niche actually converts into value and into credibility. So the right numbers don't just report what you did, they prove why it mattered. So we talked a little bit about this last week with respect to converting a feature, the what, to a why and a when and a value and an impact and the benefit that comes out all the way through. I said, do the math for them, connect the dots for them, because otherwise they're going to make up their own math and they're probably going to get it wrong. So you have the power, you got the power to actually step into that role and create that value for them. So let's talk about what we're talking about here. We provide exceptional service, and that may be true, but from the PM side of the table, how do I know? How do I compare it? How do I defend it to somebody else, especially upstairs? And so claims may sound good, but metrics are the ones that create the credibility. Too many service reports only show activity. So we did 42 inspections. I mean, in property management world, their engineers will tell them how many reactive work orders they did and how many preventive maintenance work orders, PMs, did they do. And like that number is great, and you can start to track numbers and like, wow, you guys did a lot of PMs. I'm certainly hoping that my assets are, the lifespan is being enhanced by those things, but numbers themselves don't mean an awful lot. 42 inspections, okay. Should that have been 90 and I'm only getting half? Should that have been 1 and I got 42? Why are you inspecting so often? 97 work orders closed. Okay, should that have been 197 or should that have been 3? 18 site visits made. Why? Are there issues there or is that just part of your program? So connect the dots. That's all I'm saying. Connect the dots for them. Why are the 12 training sessions delivered? Why is that important? Did you provide a team that wasn't trained at all and you need to like cram in all 12? So do the math for that because they'll make up their own stuff and that's not good. So metrics that matter follows this path. So what did we do? That's the what, the activity. And what changed? Well, there was a performance there, right? There was an outcome, there was an impact from that. What did it actually allow the client to accomplish? What was the actual end benefit? What was the enabling change that now allowed us to do something better or more effectively? And then that's how the number becomes more meaningful. We're going to start to talk about how that number not just helps them in their business world, but helps them from a personal and an emotional standpoint too. So the metrics aren't just, numbers. Pi is 3.1412. Here's the difference. So activity. We completed 42 quality inspections last month. The performances that repeat deficiencies declined by 31% during the quarter because of those quality inspections. Now, let's talk about that is a actual before and after. That is a time frame. That is we are doing so much better now that these inspections, and that is a direct correlation that you can see. What's the impact? Well, that Repeat deficiencies declined by 31%, which means fewer complaints and fewer escalations and less time spent chasing recurring issues. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. If less time was spent chasing recurring issues, then what was done with that time? Let's keep going. Well, that gave the property manager more bandwidth to focus on leasing efforts and tenant relationships and owner priorities, budgeting, higher value initiatives. That's the secret sauce right there. You've done now the full circle of math. It's the what and the how and the phases and the delivery, and here's what it produced for us. Why does that matter? Because if this produces for you, you get less of this. Well, why does that matter? Because now you get more of that. You see how that works? Help them. Please help them. They need your help. They have a dozen of you. If they could all do that and you could all help them, their job is so much easier. And then guess what? You get to renew with them because you made their lives easier, and they're going to remember that. All right, metrics should connect the client's priorities. So connect to the client's priorities. Just because you are responsive, is that a priority of the client? For the most clients, the answer is yes. Are you reliable? Is that a priority? For the most of them, yes. These are the ones that they usually want to either check the box or know full well that you've got this. So I always wanted to pay for responsiveness. I will pay for responsiveness. I will pay for that bandwidth that I'm now giving you, the ability to get your butt down here when I need you, because we're all human, and humans sometimes have last minute requests and sometimes make mistakes, and sometimes you got to correct things fast. So I'm paying for responsiveness. Risk, safety, I assume that you've got it, but if you can demonstrate you're safer than anybody else, that's worth it for me. I can share that upstream and defend your higher number because of that. What's the tenant experience? What are the other stakeholders, like the guests and the prospects and the leasing team and the engineers and the other service providers? What do they experience as they, find themselves in your building, in your property? Property readiness, cost effectiveness, stability. You get the idea. The best metric isn't just the most impressive one. It's the one most closely tied to what the client values. So if the client values these things, you make sure that you provide those things and evidence to support it. So don't just report the number. So that's the metric. That's what happened. Report the meeting. Why did it matter? And then the benefit. And here's what it improved. Here's what it protected. Here's what it reduced. Here's what it allowed. Here's what it enhanced. Here's what it, Let's talk about the actual end game. And because of that, we are now able to do these things. Great, because we never had time to do those things before these things got implemented. So faster response time is issues addressed sooner, and that means less uncertainty. Fewer repeat deficiencies means cleaner performance, fewer complaints, better readiness scores, tours happen smoothly, stronger leasing support. If the leasing guy's on your side, you're golden. If the guy is not on your side, or gal, does not matter, woman, then you could be in trouble. And if the property manager's in trouble, then they're going to take it out on you. So make them shine in front of leasing and their prospects. Put people in the right places. Stage the property. For gosh sakes, if you know what a leasing tour is, be actively part of that. Where is that tour going to take place? Where are they going to park? What does the curb appeal look like? What's the route from the car to the front lobby? What does the lobby look like? What's that big gulp doing there? Get that out of there. How do we roll out the red carpet? How do we make leasing look like this is Taj Mahal and you'd be an idiot not to lease here? Make that the mantra, and that makes the property manager look great. As this before you send out your next report, are we measuring this because it's easy for us to count or because it actually matters to the client? And that's what's behind my head. The word matters. Then ask, so what? And what did it change? And then why does this matter? And maybe it doesn't matter anymore, in which case you got to tweak it. What did it actually allow the property manager to do better or to do less of, right? Now you've just kind of like minimized this whole risk thing. You've done the damage control, you've done the preemptive stuff that frees their time to do more higher value tasks and projects, maybe earn a higher wage because of that. It's all mathematics when you think about it. So this week's challenge, let's take a look at this. Take one metric that your team already reports and complete the following 4 lines. We measured X, and then it showed Y, and then it mattered because the impact, what it changed, and then it helped the client by benefit, 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 benefit. Turn one routine number into a defensible value story. And the number 3 is the big one, is because it mattered. It mattered to your clients. It mattered because you cared, but it didn't matter just because you had the number in your hip pocket. It mattered because they said it mattered. And if that matters, what else matters? Elicit some of those feedbacks, and then all of a sudden you're going to be singing the same song sheet as the property manager. And when you're doing that, then you stand a lot better chance to retain the account, grow with that particular property manager. He or she will share those successes with their peers and ensure that your longevity is preserved. So that's it for this week. Values-Driven Sales Mastery begins September 9, so sign up now. We got early bird that goes through August 31st. The program is 12 weeks. It's 12 Wednesdays of wisdom, 90 minutes each. It's group coaching. We have hot seats. We have role plays. We've got beautiful, yummy things. You got all 7 pillars of BDSM that is everywhere, from size up, how you size things up, to show up, how you show up in the marketplace, to speak, how you articulate value, to sell up, which is how you merge value to the actual sales process, to serve up. Once you shake hands, what does that look like? How do you make and keep the commitments that were made during the sales process? Strengthen up, that's your retention engine. And then you have scale up. How do you grow with the clients that you love and who love you back? So sign up for that, and the link will be in the description down below. Get Erskine here, Values-Driven Coaching, and I thank you so much for the value of your time, and I look forward to seeing you in Values-Driven Sales Mastery.